So there's something that I want to share with you today, that if you know this, and if you're clued in on this, and if you focus on this, your ex is going to want you back. Hey there, it's Clay with modernlove.life. So today we're talking about what you need to know to get your ex back. This is going to be a very important key thing to focus on here. And of course, the key thing is here, if you've been watching these videos I've been doing for a while, you know that the most important thing is the emotional connection, right? It's the emotional connection. And I mean that very seriously. Now, the problem is that a lot of people say, okay, I'm not going to focus on the emotional connection. I'm going to focus on the emotional connection because Clay says that it leads to us getting back together. And if I focus on the emotional connection, it allows me to focus on getting back together. But that's not what you want to do. You see, there's two ways that we can be focusing on this. We can be connection focused, which is what I want you to do. And we can be outcome focused or relationship focused. And so many people are actually relationship focused when they think they're focusing on the connection, because they think, okay, if I focus on the connection, then it's going to lead to a relationship. But that's not how it works, right? Just like how when you go out on a first date with someone, at least ideally, I don't know how it went for you, with you and your ex or you and anyone else, but ideally you go out on a first date and you're open-minded. You're not saying like, hey, I'm going to marry this person. Hey, I'm going to get into a relationship with this person. You're just like, hey, here's someone who's interesting. They're attractive. Let me get a chance to know them. Let me see if we have anything in common. Let me see if there's anything good between the two of us. Let's see if we connect. Let's see if we have certain values. See if we're compatible in other ways. And, as you do and discover that, and as there is compatibility, you get closer and closer together, and then it makes sense to be in a relationship. But you don't go in trying to make that happen. So many people are going in saying like, okay, let's focus on the connection because it's going to lead to a relationship. I don't want you to do that. There's a much better way that you can be doing that. And before we go ahead and get into that, please, if you like this video, hit that thumbs up button for YouTube. Please make sure you also subscribe to this channel as well too. And while you're down there subscribing, please make sure you hit that bell icon as well too, so that you can get notified when we publish new content on this channel. Also, I like to go live and answer people's questions fairly frequently, so please make sure you also hit that bell icon as well too, so that you can get notified when I have a live stream coming up. I'd love to be able to catch up with you and chat with you and find out more about your situation and maybe answer some questions, but you're not going to be able to know that I'm going live unless you hit that bell icon. When it comes to the emotional connection, we really have to focus just on that. Not use it as a sock puppet to say, okay, this is going to get me to the relationship. But we simply just want to focus on that emotional connection. And that means when the emotional connection isn't going in a way that feels good and is rewarding for at least us, but probably also for your partner, your ex as well too, we have to be willing to call that out. I've seen so many people that are just walking on eggshells, afraid to bring up certain dynamics that aren't working for them, afraid to bring up frustrations and things like that because they're afraid that their ex is just going to give up and walk away. And what I'm trying to say is that it's okay to call that out. It's okay to bring that to the present moment because it allows you to actually talk about it. And besides, if your connection is so fragile anyway that they're just going to give up if you just say, hey, I got a problem, then chances are that's not the right relationship for you anyway. Just like how if you're out on a first date with someone and it's like, hey, you're an attractive person, but oh, hey, by the way, I've got all of these STDs. I just slept with everyone in the bar here. I have all these personality disorders. I've got all this stuff going on with me. You're probably not going to still want to be in a relationship with that person if the dynamic with your ex isn't the way that you want it to. Call it out. If you don't have the ability to support that kind of conversation and that kind of dynamic, then chances are it's probably not the right relationship for you. But I don't want you to be tiptoeing around these certain things. I don't want you to be afraid to call things out. I don't want you to be afraid to call things quits, or at least just take a step back if things aren't working out for you. Okay, we've got to stay focused on that emotional connection for its own sake, not because it's some sort of sock puppet or some sort of vehicle or some sort of mechanism to get you to the relationship, because that just keeps you relationship focused, okay? So with that being said, what I want you to do is I want you to check out this video series right over here on what we call Advanced Relational Skills. This will give you some more insight into specifically what I mean when I talk about the emotional connection. So go ahead and click over here next, and I'll see you right over